This will be a pretty rapid overview of actual workflow with Armstrong. It should be broken into 2 videos. We're going to start by assuming that you've just installed Armstrong and you may be looking at a page kind of like this and you're like, whoa, what is this? There's no navigation. Why is this gray bar up here? And we're going to explain all that. This gray bar actually represents the header region. It's just styled like this out of the box, but you can change this. Everything on the site is broken into regions. Here we have the diagram that's mentioned in the documentation for the widgets and sidebars. It's the widgets and sidebars page, the documentation, and all these represent actual widget areas in Armstrong. So if we go to the widgets page in the dashboard, we can see all those listed over here. Now, what we're going to do first is we're going to add a menu right here to the menu area, and then we're going to fill out some footer stuff, and we'll go over some interesting functionality that Armstrong can do to make all that happen. We're going to go to the menus page, and I've already got a menu called main menu, and I've got 4 pages added to it, and I've already added these, you can see, to 2 menu regions over here called primary menu and footer menu, and of course you can add it to any of the others as you want. These names do not represent functionality in the code. These are merely identifiers to help you understand where to put these menus, but you can name them whatever you want. You can use them wherever you want, and you can see there's short code. So all we got to do is copy this and go to widgets, and we'll go down here to the primary menu because that's where we want to put it, and I can put in a text box as you'd expect, and I can paste the short code and have it show up. But we're going to actually delete this text box, and instead we're going to use an Armstrong visual widget. We're going to hit create new content, and it makes a new post type called a visual widget. I'm just going to call it something, it doesn't matter what you call it. I'm going to paste in the short code, and I have to add a class to tell the menu how to be displayed. I'm going to make it SF menu, which is short for Superfish menu. So it'll be displayed as that type of menu. I'm going to hit publish, and after I do so I get a note pointing out that I need to actually add it to the visual widget, and there's a link to the page. So I'm going to follow that link, and it'll take me back to the widgets page, go down here to the primary menu to the visual widget again, and now it says content to display, and I can choose the primary menu post type I just created and hit save. I can go back to the site and refresh it, and there's my menu. And you'll notice the menu shows up, it's already got some styling, and it's got this little blue edit link, which is one of the features of the Armstrong visual widget. Clicking this will take you directly to the editor so you can make changes right here, which is really cool. You don't have to go through any other hoops to get there. Really handy if you end up with a lot of content and you're wondering, you want to make quick changes. You can see sidebar items listed here on sidebar pages that are done with visual widgets. You can have an edit link to go straight to them. Very handy stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to add the same menu to the footer, and we're going to add a couple widgets to the footer to demonstrate the column ability in widgets in Armstrong. So we'll go back to the widget page. We'll go to the footer menu and add a text. We're going to do the same thing we did before. SF menu class. We're going to save that, get this out of the way, go to the footer top. The footer is divided into bottom and top regions just to help you have organization. We're going to put, I want to put a search box into the footer top, and I'm going to change the width here to 1/4. And this is like a 1/4 wide column. And then I'm going to put a text box in and call it my text, and I've got some lorem ipsum text here I'm just going to paste in, and I'm going to set the width to 3/4. So now we have a 1/4 width text, or a search box next to a 3/4 text column. So if I refresh the page, I will see the menu, and I will see, look at this nice 1/4 wide text area or search box area, and the text I added. And of course the search box doesn't say search, which we could fix real quick by adding a title. Save, refresh, Okay, there, search and my text. You see it's 3/4 wide. So this gives you column abilities with your widgets in your footer, which is really cool. And of course, if I made this a visual widget, I would see the edit link down here. So I could edit straight to it instead of having to go to the widgets page and do the editing down here. One of the things you may not know about, hopefully do, is Widget Logic plugin, which is a free plugin from Alan Trawatha. Highly recommend it. If you don't know about it, check it out. If you're an Armstrong customer, in the plugin toolkit you can get an Armstrong version of the visual widget, and the Armstrong version basically adds a little bit of security by getting rid of PHP exec function and using a list of allowed functions to execute. Some people have been nervous about security of Widget Logic. They really appreciate this because it beefs up the security quite a bit. And that's, again, that's available to anybody who's purchased Armstrong. Okay. Now, one of the things I should mention is, we're not going to do this for sake of brevity, but you can make menus sticky. Like if I go in here, and I guess maybe we can do this real quick. Add class equals sticky update. But I may need to add some other variables I haven't added, so we'll see what happens. Go back to the page. Yeah, it didn't work. Just so you know, you can do this. You can add, oh, of course, because I have two classes called sticky. That was a glitch. SF menu and sticky in the same class. Okay, now we'll go back to the site. Alright, now what I expected to happen was this to become sticky, but we're missing some attributes. Just so you know, you can make this sticky so it doesn't scroll out of view. The problem is there's some attributes missing. If you go to the docs and go to the menu pages, there's a link on here that talks about sticky items, and it covers the details, and you can make your menu sticky, but we'll move forward. What we want to talk about next is limiting content by device type. So let's go back here and edit this again. Let's say we wanted to have the menu show as a Superfish menu like it does on tablet and up devices, but not as not on phone size devices. So I can add this tau for tablet and up shortcode around the item, and this is going to limit this. Anything in this shortcode will only appear on devices tablet size and up. And then what I can do, I can change this. I can copy and paste it and change it to phone size, PH for phone. And I'm going to go ahead to, and while I'm at change class equals SF menu to select menu, which is going to cause this to display as a drop-down box. I can hit update, go back to the site. Now, okay, we have a glitch here. This is showing up and it shouldn't. So let's take a look here and see what we did wrong. Oh, we didn't close our shortcodes. Okay, so we'll close our shortcodes. Go back to the site. Okay, you can see we only see the normal menu. Now if I go over to Chrome, right now in Chrome I have set up with this user agent override for iOS 5. So Chrome is acting like we're on iOS 5. If I refresh this, I can see a drop down box as if I was on a phone. So that's what phone users will display. Now let's say I want to change the layout and I want this menu item to show in the masthead up here on a phone device and not have anything display here when you're on a phone. We can do that. If I go back to the widgets page, well, first thing I need to do is I need to edit this visual widget again. I need to change this. We're going to cut this. We're going to get rid of that. And we're going to go over here to, you see we have masthead. So we're going to put a text box in here. This is phone size masthead. We're going to paste this. Save. We pasted our menu in and saved it. Go back to the page. It's going to look the same here, but if we go to Chrome and we F5, we see the masthead appears for phone users, which is really cool. This is jammed up in the left corner because there's no styling to position it, but of course you can style it with a CSS sheet or direct inline styles. that's going to be the end of this video. In the next video, we're going to cover page constraints, and in that video we'll be talking about how to get rid of this big gray box if you want to like make this look like just one page linked together. Some of the other layout things. We'll cover WYSIWYG improvements in Armstrong and a little bit more with built-in features like buttons and how the column system works. Thank you.